these are some of the biggest generational curses that need to be broken. Hair care is supposed to hurt, not true. Hair need water, not true. Our scalp needs oil because it don't produce its own oil, not true. Black hair can't be combed, not true. Remember this video here that everybody was mad at me about, where I told y'all that two-strand twist and your little mini braids and all of that is not protective styles, and y'all was like, oh, in Africa, and oh, in Africa, and our ancestors in Africa.
Yeah, I had split ends throughout my hair, and my hair was browning, my hair was looking matted, my hair was ashy. I tried to fix my hair. I noticed when I started taking care of my internals, my hair started to grow in better. And the first time I started doing mini braids, first of all, to take care of my hair, and I was washing my hair, conditioning it, so I put it up in these mini braids, which I left in for, the first time I left in for 3 months, and I took them down, and I got a lot of length. I'll show you that video here, and I was so excited. But then I noticed that my hair was breaking as I was taking down the mini braids. So I did the next mini braids again, which I left in for 5 months. At around the 2.5 months, did the rebraid, and I was still having issues with breakage. March this year, I took down the braids, and I still have the same issue. And my hair didn't retain the length I hoped for. My roots were growing in thicker, but the ends of my hair were breaking. Going through a whole year, growing and breaking my hair at the same time. And up to now, I still have breakage, but it's not as bad as it was earlier on, because I'm trying to figure out what the problem is, and I'm looking into. Please notice that mostly this is now an external factor. This is not an internal factor anymore. My roots are thicker, my roots are growing in thicker, and the ends of my hair just can't retain length. My hair is not showing any length. So this couldn't be an internal issue. This is an external issue. It is causing my breakage. My 3-year hair growth journey, I didn't really think. Like, quite a number of YouTubers, by the third year they have very long, by the first year even, they have very long hair. But unfortunately, I'm not that person. I've not been able to retain that length yet. And we're going to figure this out together. I want to figure it out. So, first of all, I made a video earlier, a few months ago, talking about how being a less natural is damaging and true. I shouldn't have left in my mini braids for as long as I have been doing. I noticed by the time I was taking down my mini braids, my hair would feel dry, even if I was washing it quickly. So, protective styles, like leaving them long-term protective styles, they don't work for me. They don't work for me. I did retain length in the first 3 months, but the next month that came, I was just having way much more breakage than I did grow hair from my scalp. 4 weeks ago, I did a style because I was going to do some job for like a month. I did a style to put my hair away, and it was a very cute style. I liked it. But once, like, that was the biggest blow to my hair. There's this video I did, and my hair was not as short as it is today, and it was not as unhealthy it was today, and that was before I did the style. Coming out of the mini braids, I would still see this breakage, and it was quite there. But after I did this style, then 4 weeks later when I took out the style, I did notice that my ends were so dry, because I used rubber bands at the end to keep the beads in my hair. So I noticed my ends were so dry, and I could not rub off the feeling of what was going to happen to my hair. So when I started taking down my hair, I really saw much more breakage than I'd seen before, and my hair had broken off had gotten more damage in these 4 weeks than it had ever gotten, and I attributed it to the style I did where I used rubber bands. So I'd been doing mini braids and leaving them in for a long time, and then I added that damage more by doing a style with rubber bands and left it in for 4 weeks.
If you want to know how to master hairstyles and how you should actually be wearing your hair, then make sure you check this ebook link in the description box below, where I break down hairstyles from a scientific level and which ones you should actually be doing.
So we'll be going live a little later today. The filtered reality, what algorithms show on black hair. This is what we're going to unpack, because as a black woman, when you get online and you look for anything as it pertains to hair care, the first thing you're going to see is braids and twists, things of that nature. Listen, scroll your feed and it's easy to think that every black girl's hair is laid to perfection. Sleek buns without flyaways, coils so uniform that they look stamped on, girl. And that is not by accident. Social media algorithms are designed to keep our attention, and they do that by learning what people engage with the most and serving more of that. Now, as I'm talking, I want you to go read this blog post that I created for you, because I have so many different articles linked to everything that I'm saying to back me up. So make sure you check the link in the description box below, because when most of the images training these algorithms feature Eurocentric textures and a neural range of curly hair right from start to finish, it starts to promote those looks as normal. And sometimes when you analyze these algorithm biases, you can note that these feeds are curated by a machine learning system, often amplified existing different prejudices, creating a feedback loop where there's a narrow aesthetic that everybody's going after. So that bias plays out in the search bar too. A black, beautiful editor recently wrote about having to add the term Afro hair or black woman to basic hairstyle queries because pages of white faces came up for keywords like braids and weaves, right? So when an MBA student Googles unprofessional hairstyles for work, the results were mostly pictures of black women with natural hair, while professional hairstyles yielded more of like what people call a white girl's look, right? For just so I'm not using stereotypical words myself. These patterns tell algorithms that straight, sleek hair gets clicks. So they push the buns and the perfect curls to the top of your page. So that way you are buried in protective styles or free textures, right? Because that's what the algorithm's trained to do. Platforms also reward content that generates these reactions, these meanings, these trends, and all of these different aspirational looks surface for more of an everyday lived in look to be combined with all of these different new terms that are now triggering the algorithms, right? So, beyond this skewed curation, there is an issue of censorship, right? Dove's social media bias report points out that posts showing real beauty, right, from underrepresented communities are sometimes deleted or by algorithms they're trained to be really, really narrow and kind of throw them under the bus. So this is removing or down ranking these images, meaning that they're no longer authentic. So black hair is literally silence, reinforcing unrealistic statistical standards and creating social pressure. In other words, what we see isn't really an objective reflection of what's out there. It's filtered reality, a very, very filtered and curated reality built by code. And this is something that a lot of us don't understand, right? Because we think that that only goes as it pertains to telling a black woman that her hair is curly, and if your hair is curly and you wear it straight, you're trying to be a white girl. No, 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 no. That's how it was at the very beginning, right? So over a decade ago. Now today in 2025, if you are a licensed cosmetologist, if you are a black woman that does not have curly hair, black hair, natural hair, 4B, 4C, 4W within the chat or within the title, your videos and your view counts are going to drop very, very low. This is a fact. If you make videos about curly hair, like if one of my last viral videos on my channel, one of the last ones, right, or I won't say viral, ones that went over 20K, it was because in the title I put 7 hairstyles for curly hair, right? It hit all of the key terms. And so because we are now operating with the algorithm is only sending my video out to people who are interested in curly hair. So because my channel is opposite of what the algorithm has learned and been trained to think that black women want to see, a channel like mine won't necessarily be pushed up in the algorithm. That's how things work, right? And it's okay. But what you have to understand as a consumer is that the things that you're seeing online, the people who are getting the most views or the things that are the most popular, something in its popularity does not equate to it being real factual information that you should follow. That's not how that works. It's not. Because most of the time, if you are a YouTuber or if you are a creator on any social media platform, you understand that you want to do more of that thing that works. So if saying that putting fruits and vegetables in your hair is going to trigger that algorithm, they're going to make more of that content. So the reason that I'm making this video is because I want you to understand that the thing that you think is black hair, the thing that you think is like, this is how a black woman is supposed to wear her hair, you've been trained to think that way. The algorithm, the systems, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, wherever you at, it's been trained to see, okay, this is a black woman. Let's put in front of her things that will make her feel like she has to do these things. Why? Because this brand is paying us for ads, and this brand is paying her for ads, and their target keywords, right? The people who are making the copy, the people who are doing the copywriting are saying, okay, these keywords here: curly hair, natural hair, dry hair, black hair, short, long hair, how to grow, all of the things that are pain points for black women, all of the titles of the most viral videos that you are buying hair products and things of that nature that aren't working from, these are how these things are curated, right? And the video that you're watching from me right now, this is one of me doing hair over, I want to say this video is about 7 years old, right? This video is about about 6, 7 years old. Yeah. And so back then I had client after client after client that were falling victim to the things that you learn online, because beyond the screen is so really, really simple. It's so simple, but they make it overly complicated, because if I make something overly complicated, then you're not going to understand it, and you're going to think that the only way that you're going to get this result is if you talk to me, right? Because the things that I'm talking about is like, oh my God, this is so wild. I've never heard this before. And the only way I'm going to get this information is if I watch all of these videos, or not necessarily watch the video, if I get this product, because that's the key. And then you buy product after product after product after product after product after product. Have you ever thought about black women are the group of women that everybody talks about, like you have the least amount of money, you have the least amount of disposable income and things of that nature, but why are you the market and the group of women that every brand targets? You have the biggest spending power. Everybody targets you first. You know why? Because you don't think before you spend. As long as the ads look good enough, as long as the ads fit into your pain points, you are going to buy them, because we want quick, instant gratification, right? So what gets lost in the algorithm driven feeds is the sheer diversity and historical depth of black hair. Centuries before TikTok, African communities used hair to signify tribes, status, age, and spirituality. The National Museum of African American History and Culture notes that black hair holds deep cultural significance, and that Eurocentric standards have long stigmatized natural hairstyles, which is true. But the issue that black women struggle with is understanding that a hairstyle is a temporary thing. Your hair is not supposed to be in a hairstyle 24/7. That is why in the state of Nevada, there are two separate licenses. There is a hairstylist license and there is a cosmetology license. As a cosmetologist, you can do everything from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. I can do waxing, I can do massages, I can do pedicures, I can do manicures, like micro, all of the things, everything. in beauty a cosmetologist can do, versus a hairstylist can't use chemicals. A hairstylist cannot use any chemicals whatsoever on your hair. They use the tools that are meant for hairstyling. And then a braider legally cannot shampoo your hair. So that's why you have all of these different videos like, oh my god, black women are so lazy, they don't shampoo hair, hairstylists don't shampoo hair. Baby girl, baby boy, if you went to somebody who doesn't shampoo your hair, I can bet money they have no cosmetology license. Ask to see their license. I'm gonna tell you they have a braider certificate. Check. And if they a cosmetologist and they don't shampoo hair, they just dusty and you need to go to somebody else. But these are things that y'all have to understand, because the way that social media is being curated to present to you whenever you sign on is to trap your mind in this place. Because when people, for example, there are bald-headed people who make videos about me, right? There's so many different types of people who make videos about me, right? And the thing is, when people watch their videos, they hear the things that they have to say, and then they come over to my channel and they hear the things that I have to say. If they have a mind free of clutter, free from offense, and they're really open to learn, right? You're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And then they can begin to pick the things apart themselves. And then they say, oh my God, Sin, this was so easy. I cannot believe I've been sucked into this. And the reason that you're sucked into it is because social media is made that way. Think about it. Sometimes you could be talking to your man, talking to your friend or something about a certain food that you want to try. And then next thing you know, it's popping up in your algorithm on your phone. You know why? Because that's how stuff works now. So if you don't understand the science, and if the only thing that you're paying attention to is this shiny, oh, who has the most views, whose stuff looks the best, then you'll forever be in this cycle. Because black women are under the illusion that there's some type of hair product or there's some type of hairstyle that they should wear their hair in. The woman that you're watching right now, the haircut that you're watching right now, the breakage that you see me getting rid of because of the different lengths and all of the breakage, it all came from hairstyles. That's why I added that portion at the very beginning of the woman in Africa who was doing the mini braids and all of the things. I don't care how much you love Africa and all of that. Braids are not protective styles. And braids are for healthy hair. I do not care what anybody says. If you have damaged hair, the last thing you should do is put it in braids. Twist and all of those things, yes, it helps you retain length. Why? One reason and one reason only: you're not touching your hair. You're not touching it. You're not breaking it. Everybody's hair grows. Long hair does not equal healthy hair. Just because your hair is long does not mean that your cuticle is intact and healthy. Just because your hair is long does not mean that your bonds are properly in place. Just because your hair is long does not mean that your hair growth cycle is not interrupted. Just because your hair is long does not mean that there is a colonization of different forms of yeast and bacteria happening on your scalp that can take anywhere between 6 months to 25 years to show up. Length changes none of these things. But because social media and because these algorithms are formulated to present things to you in that way, then those are the things that you see. So it's not that black women can't grow long hair. That's not it. You're growing hair. And I can prove it to you with one simple thing. Women who get relaxers, right? There are black women who get relaxers, right? Whose hair won't grow past their ears, or their hair won't grow past their shoulder bone, right? But you get a retouch relaxer every 8 weeks, every 10 weeks, right? You have new hair that is now super curly and it's not blending with the hair that you relaxed, that's your older hair. right? So from us saying that, we can both agree that that new growth is new hair. So your hair is growing. So the next question is, the problem is not coming from the inside. That's something that the woman at the beginning of this video that was talking about the mini braids, she said, I fixed everything on the internal level. I'm going to leave her full video in the description box. She said she fixed everything from the internal level. She was dieting, she was doing all of the things, and everything was good. She said, my break, so that's not it. It's my routines, it's my patterns. It's you're combing your hair wet. It's packing your hair full of oils and butters. It's you thinking that braids are really retaining length. They're not. They're not. This is why you get so many women that their hair will be to them super healthy, and then they go in to see a cosmetologist or a hairstylist, whatever. They go get their hair flat ironed and they're like, oh my god, my hair broke off. No, they did not damage your hair. Your hair was screwed way before the blow dryer touched it. And that's why for my new course that's coming for cosmetologists, coming soon, you guys, cosmetologists, braiders, hairstylists, all of the things, one thing that I'm teaching everybody is make sure you start everything off with looking at their hair shaft under an electron microscope, and letting them see before you touch it. So they already know this was the state of your hair before you came in. That is why every client should have a consultation, every last one. These are the things that I want you to see. This is a flashback. This is how she came in before. And I want you to pay attention to how she came in at the beginning of the video. I love Sis. But Sis was another that wasn't combing her hair on a regular basis. And all of the different things that y'all think that you're supposed to do as a black woman with black hair, those are the things that she did. But this is the thing. Could you imagine if she didn't have any of those braids? Could you imagine if she didn't have none of those twists? Could you imagine if she didn't do any of the things that broke her ends, and I never had to cut all of that hair, right? Imagine if I never had to cut all of that hair. Her hair would be down her back, no problem. Now, this is Bree Deezy. I've been calling her that since she was like 13, okay? And it's a thing. Anyway, so this is my little sister, okay? Our dads were best friends before my dad passed away and things of that nature and blah 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 blah, but she's a grown woman now. This video is pretty old. I'm going to leave a link to her channel in the description box below so you can see how long Brianna's hair is right now. Brianna's she's very young, because I know somebody's gonna ask, right? But yes, her hair is curly. Sometimes Brianna wears her hair curly, but she combs it, and she will only do it for 1 to 2 days tops. And even with that, it was the same thing for her. I'm not just like, oh my god, black woman, you don't like to wear your hair, don't wear your hair curly, you're ashamed to be black. No, it's gonna break everybody's hair. So Brianna gets the same lecture. Brianna gets the same lectures. You're not wearing your hair wet on a regular basis. You're not doing that, period. You're using a diffuser. The same stuff that I tell y'all, she knows. And she has hair color as well. Now, Bree's hair is long in this video, but her hair is double long now. So make sure you go over to her channel so you can check it out. But most black women will see her hair and be like, oh my god, her hair is only that long because she's mixed, or it's because it's a different texture. That is not true. With your mind's eye, rewind it. Go ahead, rewind it, and go to the first girl and look at how long her hair was before I cut it, right? So imagine you saw like how her hair was when we first started. I did the flashback. Now imagine that she was coming in for a trim every 10 weeks. And she wasn't doing a bunch of protective styles, a bunch of braids, a bunch of twists, a bunch of things that cause breakage. She would have never had all of that breakage at the bottom, and I would have never cut that hair off. Her hair would be just as long as Brianna's is. The problem is not hair growth. The problem is length retention because of the practices. Because black women believe that you're supposed to have a hairstyle all the time. And that is your issue. You believe that you're always supposed to have a hairstyle, and you believe that straightening your hair is something that is connected to colonization. And it's not. It's not. If that's the lens that you want to look through it through, if that's how you want to look at it, then like I'm sorry that that's the reality that you're choosing. But if you want something different, I'm going to ask you to choose a different reality, because it's that simple. It's literally that simple. Like, to sit here right now, even if you like, oh, I'm so sick of her, like, oh, I hate her, because there's so many people that watch me that don't like me. You're a weirdo. But weirdo, like, really sit here and be like, okay, like, I being a hater like this takes a lot of energy. It takes a irritated, being upset takes so much energy. So try something different, right? Just try something different. You don't even have to try it on me. You can get a mannequin for like $15 and get two of them. And on one mannequin, try it your way. And on the other mannequin, do it my way. And you see which one turns out better. Which one has more ease. Black women are not, oh my God, we can't have long hair. That's not true. It's our patterns, our routines, and our habits that keep us from retaining the length that we grow. If your hair didn't grow, you would need to retouch the relaxer every 10 weeks. That's new hair there at the root, but for some reason, that length is not being retained on the ends. A hair product is not going to help you. It's not, oh, use this product and it'll be. No, you, my love, need a notebook. And you need to sit down and really trace your steps. What things am I doing to break off my ends? And what things can I put in that place so I'm not doing that anymore? What can I do instead of braids and twisties? What can I do instead of that? Can you have braids every once in a while? Yeah. There are braids in this video. This video is years and years old, but I had braids in this video. It was 120 to, no, I'm lying. It was like 109, like 109 here in Nevada, right? I live in the desert. So I would have braids in for 3 weeks, take them out, and then that would probably be the only time that I had braids in the summer. It would just be that one point in the summer that was super hot. I couldn't take it. There it was. But all year, no. Every time you're doing something with your hair, braids, no. And the thing is, there are going to be so many people that argue, and I don't care, because for every one person that doesn't agree with me, there are another 50 that listened and who are now experiencing hair growing back in places that they never thought would grow back. I'm telling you what I know. So sometimes you guys won't see me for a minute here on my channel, because I'm starting to other new channels and I am within my own platform, so make sure you check out the Apothecary, and if you are within the Growth Cycle Blueprint or the 7-Day Hair Growth Challenge, you guys make sure you head over to the groups, because you have so many new things there. If you are in the 7-Day Challenge, you have a new 3-day internal detox for your hair growth, your skin, all of the things. And if you are inside of the Growth Cycle Blueprint, you have a 30-day cleanse, right? Oh my God, it's like I'm so in love with it. And there are so many other things in both. So there are a lot of people who signed up for the challenge and the blueprint that are not in the groups. You guys need to finish y'all coursework, and at the end of the coursework there's going to be prompting for you to join the groups. It's something so important. And this month we have a live coaching session coming up, and the only way that you're going to be able to RSVP to our live coaching session, right, is if you are inside of one of the groups that are connected to the Growth Cycle Blueprint for the 7-Day Hair Growth Challenge. So again, make sure you take advantage, right? If you already paid for it, it's in the course. Finish the course, get into the group discussion and boom shakalaka, right? But this is something that I want y'all to understand, and it's something that I really want you to shake, because one of the biggest generational curses that's been passed down generation through generation through generation is the belief that the only way that a black woman could wear her hair to have healthy hair is if it's braided. I don't care what anybody says, it's a strong generational curse, and it's one that black women use so toughly on each other, right? And the Team National community was started with such a beautiful intention, but it was very quickly turned into something else way more sadistic, where instead of women making each other feel better about the diversity within being a black woman, it made you in a tighter box than you could have ever been in before. So these are things that I really want us all to think about, right? So if you are a person who is really stuck, right? And let's say you don't know exactly what to do, you don't know exactly where to go, then make sure you are in my live broadcast that is coming tonight. And if the broadcast already passed, then make sure you check the links in the description box below, because I'll have that live replay in the pinned comment. So make sure you check it out, okay? But this is something that I really want everybody to think about. It's something that I really want everybody to take into consideration. Am I saying the only way that you can wear your hair is straight? No, but I am saying that as a black woman, you are not forced to only wear your hair in an afro. I am saying that. I am saying that just because you're a black woman does not mean that you have to have braids in your hair all the time. That is what I'm saying. And y'all not gonna like this, but I don't care what nobody say. Y'all putting them 6 braids in y'all hair, walking around looking like Felicia, is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you think it's cute. It's crazy to me that you want me to think it's cute. It's crazy to me that you want some man that's walking past you to be like, oh, you look like Felicia from Friday. Craig, can I see your VCR real quick? It's the Mac. Like, girl, she wasn't cute and neither is you. But I digress. Anyway, these are the things that I really want us to take into consideration. And when you are thinking about your hair patterns, your hair routines, when you are thinking about why your hair keeps breaking off, when you're thinking about why you're not able to retain length and things of that nature, I need you to think about all of these things, okay? Again, as beautiful as Brianna's hair is, it has not always been this long. I have known Brianna since she was 13 years old. She's cut her hair many times. One time, I was the one who cut her hair, and she colors it and all types of things. But Brianna takes care of her hair. She gets a trim on a regular basis, and even though she's getting a trim on a regular basis, that does nothing to her length. It doesn't. And as a black woman, you can have long hair too. Again, it's not a rhetorical question. Please let me know in the comments. Do you see what I mean? The woman in the first video, imagine if she kept a trim every 10 weeks. Imagine if I never cut any of the hair that I just cut. And then another 10 weeks go by, or another 3-4 months go by, and then she gets another 6-7 inches. It happens all the time. But black women, you can never see it visually because you never, ever let go of the routines and patterns that break off your ends. Your ends are the most fragile piece of your hair. But guess what? Where you put rubber bands and beads and all of that, you put it on the end. The most fragile part. And then you wonder why you can't retain length. And not only that, like, all of your styles, all of your patterns and routines calls for tension and heavy oils and heavy butters, but yet it's still the women that y'all buy bundles from, or the women that have really long, beautiful hair, they do none of those things. Ask yourself why you can't separate the two. I love you guys so much. Again, this is like my baby sister, so I'm just letting y'all hear like some of our combo. Again, her hair is even longer now, so check the link in the description box. Go subscribe to her channel. I love her so much. Oh my god. Bye guys. Don't get mad at me for this video, okay? Okay.
Can somebody please tell Brianna that I did not make her hair grow in 5 minutes?
So much longer.
He's gonna leave it. He's gonna.
Oh no. I'll be like, it's fine.
When I first met Brianna, she was like, Dad, can I, Dad, Dad, oh my God, Dad, now she's 20. Okay, so in the live earlier, I told y'all, I think she gonna be able to buy liquor next year. She been able to buy liquor for 4 years. Almost 5.
Wow.
I'm not saying she be buying liquor, I'm just saying she been.
Well, look at it.
Well, everybody not still the same. I think you're the only one in that generation that didn't turn out skin.
I'm so glad.
My hair literally grew because you straightened.
Brianna, your hair did not grow. It's a flower.
For sure. This is like,
You got
what is that? Tangled movie. Yes.
But Bri, that didn't happen today.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Today, right now.
This is still brown. I'm about 14 minutes.
I really like my apartment. I'm like, damn.
How cool.
Yeah, because I was like, I still want to be on the second floor and I want high ceilings. I did that. I did scripting. I scripted.
My father and her father were best friends before my father passed away. You guys, she has no idea I'm about to do this. She is literally one of the most beautiful people I have ever met, inside and out. If you are not doing nothing, which you are not doing anything right now, go to the link in the description box and subscribe to her channel. It's so valuable. I'm not just telling you to go over there just to go over there. You will get so much value from her channel. So go subscribe to my little sister's channel, okay? I promise you will not be sorry. She is beautiful inside and out. Add a little sparkle to your day.